Coming to you from the studios at the Illinois Rock and Roll Museum on Route 66, it's the Rock and Roll Chicago podcast.
Rock and roll Chicago, rock and roll Chicago, my hometown. Well, I was born in the city, gonna rock the city, Chicago. Chicago rock and rollers are the best here around.
Hey everybody, it's Ray the Roadie.
And this is Hollywood Mike. Ray, how are you today?
I'm wonderful. I got a new car.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice car, too.
Yeah, I needed it. The trans was going on in the old one.
You want to tell everybody what the new one is, or do we want to make
Sure, it's a 2023 Ford Escape Platinum.
All right.
It's got so much crap in there, I don't know how to use it.
You know what? And we should probably say, Ford, we're looking for sponsors for this podcast.
We are looking for sponsors, Ford, yes, and we'd be happy to, run some ads for you.
Yeah, absolutely, and talk about this car a little bit more.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, I was driving the other day in the morning, and the front window was fogging up. So I'm looking for the front window defroster. I can't find this thing to save my life, man.
It's a laptop screen.
It is, and I'm punching this, and I'm punching that. I'm changing radio stations. It's crazy, but give me some time. I'll learn it.
People were screaming and yelling, and those were just the ones on the sidewalk.
That's right, because I was on the sidewalk. Yeah. So you got something new. New to me, but old. It's a 1997 Dyna Lowrider. Very nice. I saw that.
To my father-in-law.
Nice.
And the story was, it was actually, he left it in his will to my nephew.
Okay.
And my nephew was a pro bass fisherman. He wanted nothing to do with the motorcycle. So he wanted to sell it and put money down on a new bass boat. I was like, yeah, no, that's not going to happen. That motorcycle's not going to leave the family. So I gave him the money to put down on the bass boat.
Nice.
And I surprised my wife with it because it'd been sitting in my mother-in-law's garage for, I think the license plate on it says 2008. That's the last time anybody's ridden it.
Wow.
And I picked it up. Came right here with it today.
Very nice. It looks sharp. Looks like a lot of fun.
So let's get through this so I can go out and ride.
Okay, let's do this. So joining us this evening is Primal Moon. How you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
Great. Why don't we go around the table here and you guys introduce yourselves and so people know whose voice is whose.
Yeah. So my name's Brian. I'm guitar, backing vocals in the band.
I'm Joe. I'm the singer and lyricist in the band.
I'm Justin. I'm rhythm, second lead. I am also the plumber.
The plumber.
I'm looking for a
banker.
plumber.
Well, I've got one for you. Really good guy.
I'm Luke. I play bass. I'm the pipe fitter.
And my name is Tony. I'm the drummer, percussion, and I'm the band dad.
Well, you better keep these guys in order.
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah. What's with the plumber and the pipe fitter?
That's just what I do for work. But.
Oh, okay.
I thought he was making like a weird joke. But
He's actually a pipe fitter. He is not a plumber.
He's not a plumber.
He works at a bank.
Oh, okay.
Well, they have plumbing at banks.
Do you do the plumbing?
Anyone that's a Kiss fan will get the reference.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So where did this all start?
Oh, good God.
high school?
Mike.
with that too.
I've told this story about 1,000 times, so I'm
So
going to give
then
you.
you know it.
I'll give you the Spark Note version.
Now you get to tell the people in India, because we do have listeners in India.
All over the world.
So, me and Brian and Justin all started a band in high school. We played together for a while. Eventually, it was just me and Brian. Eventually, we met up with Luke. Then it was me and Brian again. Apparently, you and I are the problem people.
Yeah, I'm real sick of you.
We're him. Thanks for telling me that on here. This is the central thing. Joe and Luke ended up playing in a band for a while. Their band was falling apart, so Brian and I said, "Hey, Luke, you want to jam again?" But we didn't have a singer, so he said, "Hey, I know a guy." It was Joe, so we started jamming again, and the four of us were jamming for like 3 years. I think 3 years, right?
Yeah.
We said, we need another guitar player, so we reached out to Justin again, and said, "Hey, come back and let's all jam." And now we're here.
Yeah. And you guys said that when you guys first walked in, you said that you had played a little bit at, it was called Grubin's at one point, but now it's just the Uptown in Bloomfield. And,
me and Brian and Luke have been playing there.
We used to go there all the time when
We were in high school.
You play there a lot, don't you?
Well, I used to host that. There.
Yeah,
That's
I knew
that's
you
the
looked familiar. I'm like,
conversation we were
wait a
having.
minute.
That's the conversation we were having there. Back
That's
when
funny.
Mike Brown was kind of running the whole thing, and I was just in the house band. You know, I was. I guess I wasn't the host. I was just in the house band.
Yeah.
But you look most familiar out of all of them. And then you walked in, and you looked a little bit familiar to me as well.
I wave a sign on a street corner.
Is that what you do?
For a band?
No, that's
Right by
See me
Uptown.
that way.
He's on to you.
okay. Gotcha. Now, did you guys ever go into the studio and record an album?
That is a great question. No, so
Because I have an album cover in my head, and I'm thinking I'm associating it with you guys, and I just can't remember if it is or not.
well, we have a couple EPs out.
Yeah?
we are. Well, we'll. I'll let you talk, Joe.
We've all been in different bands too, so like you might have seen that as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I'm for some reason I'm picturing an album in my head. I think the album was titled something like "Saddle Up" or something like that. Wasn't you guys?
No, we're taking that name.
That's the album name. We're changing it.
That's ours now. Yeah. Well, tell us about your music. What do you guys doing? Yeah, tell us about the music.
Yeah, so right now we have been in the process of recording for about 14, 15 months, just working on this album. We've put out a lot of content during COVID in the time just because we wanted to write. We wanted to do something and put something out there for people to listen to in the time when they couldn't really even see anybody. So at least they could hear us. So we started to promote a little more in the guerrilla marketing format and push out as much content as possible. And now we're recording this our first full-length album. We put out about 3 EPs and a couple singles beforehand.
Nice. Now you guys are younger, and you're probably a lot more computer savvy than some of the other guests that we've had on the podcast. During COVID, did you do any of that crazy stuff where you're like playing in your own individual houses as you're quarantining and put it out on the internet and do any of that stuff, or was it just recording and mass marketing?
We didn't do too much of that, and for the simple fact of we're a band that's very heavily based on feel. You know, we're blues rooted, so like to do that over the internet, I don't think would capture the same aura as if we were all in the same room, you know, jamming along.
Yeah, I don't think it would have worked. Well, I was going to say too, a huge factor in it. So I work in healthcare. I'm a nurse. At the time I was a nurse aide, but when COVID hit and nobody really knew anything about COVID and everybody was scared for one reason or another, understandably so, everyone was like, dude, I don't want to be anywhere near you, you know, because I was working, I work in the ER, so I was in the thick of it through the whole thing. So yeah, during COVID, I feel like, I mean, there was a good 6 months that we didn't see each other.
Yeah.
They would get together, but you know, without me. But I mean, understandably so. I probably would feel the same. But yeah, you know, like they said, after we once we started feeling comfortable getting together again, I mean, we went hard. We released the 2 EPs, and then like Joe said, now we're working on the album.
Now, who are the main songwriters in the band?
All of us.
Yep.
We all write our parts.
Okay.
Yeah, but lyrics, I've written most of the lyrics except for River's Gonna Rise.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely our writing style is very unique in the sense of when we write songs, it's never necessarily like one of us will sit down and like structure the whole thing. It'll be like, hey, I have a riff. Hey, Brian's got a riff. Hey, let's see what we can do with that. And then we'll just try and structure something around that. We'll sit literally for like 2.5 hours and jam. I mean, there's one song that we actually recorded, was it back in April? And we literally came up with it. It was just a warm up when we were in the studio prior to that in the same month. We literally came up and we were like, ooh, that's a song idea. So we literally sat and like 2 weeks later we had a full song, and now it's like stuck to us.
Probably one of our best songs, honestly.
And it's one of our best songs, probably.
And what song is that?
Wine and Dine.
Yeah, it's called Wine and Dine. It's not out. It'll be on the album.
Okay.
We freestyled it in the studio.
Yeah,
Sure.
I think we did like a 12 or 13 minute version. I think we got it down to about 6 to 7 minutes. But we wrote like that one. I mean, it's very free form, but it's also like there's certain parts in it that are like my parts, Brian parts. Certain little things are specific to the song, but like the whole song as a whole is just this really loose jam that I don't think before that, at least since I've been in the band, I don't think we've really written. Maybe River, but this one in a studio sounds, because that song's only has a live version. So it's like I said, our writing style is very interesting. We really write like a song like Take Off, that we've recently released as a single. It's very structured. It's like when you hear it, that's exactly, for the most part, how you hear it live. But then you have songs like, we have a song called River that was recorded way before I joined, and it's like 9 minutes.
We've never done it the same.
And it's never the same. There's like 80 bars. Sometimes there's like 60 bars if we're cutting time. It's crazy. So yeah.
When you're saying that you guys just happened to come up with this riff and said, "Hey, we got something here," it's like, I don't know if you knew that Kerry Livgren from Kansas.
Yes.
He wrote "Dust in the Wind." He was doing finger picking exercises at home, just messing around. And his wife said, "Hey, that sounds like it could be a song," and that came out to be "Dust in the Wind."
Half the time, that's how we do it.
Yeah.
Every musician has a story like that. Like "Life in the Fast Lane" by the Eagles. That was literally a finger warm-up exercise that Joe Walsh was doing, and somebody walks in and says, "That's the next song." and
the first song we actually released was "Broke Man," and we all wrote that at a open mic. What was the open mic? Hailstorm Brewing.
Oh, yeah. Like around Villa Park or something like that?
It's in Tinley.
Tinley.
Oh, Tinley. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so Broke Man, we just wrote it real quick right there up at our turn. And then a couple months later, we won this little competition at Purdue for Battle of the Bands.
Wow.
And, well, I mean, I wouldn't call it a win. There were only 2 bands.
Yeah.
So
wait. There was a Battle of the Bands competition at Purdue University.
Yeah.
And only 2 bands showed up.
Bands is plural. 2 is.
Yeah.
It was their satellite campus.
I was going to say
50% shot.
Is that what it was? It was like Purdue Northwest or something like that? Or whatever.
Yeah, I was going to say, we, like 2 or 3 years before that, remember you, me, and Tony, we were in an old group, and we played that same Battle of the Bands. I think there was 3 or 4, and we got disqualified. I think it was something with the sound guy didn't like us or something. We were too loud or something like that.
It probably was like Back to the Future. They held up a sign. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys, you're just too darn loud.
Like, you're just too loud.
They gave you no reason for it. They're just like, nope, you're out of here.
They were just like, yeah, no, we're not even going to, like, when they announced, like, first place, so-and-so, second place, so-and-so, third place, so-and-so, good night, and we're like, well, no, fourth place, all right.
We've had the cops called to our shows for being too loud in the 5 shows in the past 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of nuts.
Are you guys really that loud?
Yeah, we're pretty loud.
We're loud, but like in a, I'd say in like a more organic sense though. We're just, our music is just loud.
It's loud, but it's still good though.
That is the most poetic way I've ever heard anybody say that we are too damn loud.
Yes. Yes.
I'm mostly the problem.
He starts it.
I like high wattage amplifiers for headroom and guitar players out there and bass players. So
We all just try to amp it up so we all get louder.
Yeah.
Just keep turning up.
Well, it's funny because last night I hosted the jam at the studio that I told you about, and I got there late because my band had a gig. We were in Montgomery, and I get there at around 9:45, and there's this group of kids that, I mean, when I say kids, they looked. Now, I'm old, so, I mean, they could have been 18 or 19, but I swear to God, they looked 12 or 13 to me. And I know they were young because they were like, we got to get up there, we got to play because we have to go to school tomorrow. But, I mean, so they were literally that young. Yeah, and I walked in, and it was so loud. I have never heard anything so loud in the studio like this before in my life. I couldn't even hear my own voice as I shouted. It was so loud in there. And
I don't know for that loud.
Yeah, I don't know for that.
I mean,
It depends on the place. We've been that loud.
I mean, I think I could speak for Tony and Luke, really, that we've gotten a lot of life lessons from Mike Brown and the crew at the Uptown. So, about dynamics.
He told me my voice was too loud.
yeah, did he really? I could see Mike doing that too. Standing there going, hey, your voice is too loud.
That's exactly how I did it.
Man, every time we played the studio, it never failed. I got yelled at by somebody for hitting too loud. Never failed. But I mean, it stuck with me. I don't play as loud, but
Or the universal. Tell me if you've seen this look before. When he looks over the glasses and he does this.
I love that. I love that.
That's how you know.
oh yeah.
We love you, Mike.
We love you, Mike. We're not laughing at you, Mike. We're laughing near you. That's all. No, we love Mike, man.
You're gonna hear a knock at the door in a couple minutes.
Yeah, that's right.
He'll show up.
No, true story about Mike Brown. Since we badmouthed him, true story about Mike Brown. I've been in bands for years. Pop, rock, heavy metal, country, all kinds of stuff. And when I guess it was about 15 years ago or so, I turned 40 years old, and I said, nobody wants to see a 40-year-old standing there playing Green Day, nor do I want to stand up here and play Green Day anymore. I said, I'm done with this. I'm going to go back to my roots. I want to learn some blues. And I put together a 3-piece band, and I said, let's go road test this, this garbage, right? So we went to Uptown. We went to Grubens, and there's Mike Brown, and he says, okay, go up on stage, right? And Mike Brown gave me my first gig, basically, ever, playing the blues, playing lead guitar and the whole bit. And I'll forever be grateful for him providing me with a stage. And I literally knew him for about 3 months, and he says, hey, guess what? We need a house, guitarist. I said, yeah. He goes, you're it. I mean, there was no asking. He just goes, you're it.
That's
Next
awesome.
thing you know, that's how I ended up working in the house band at Grubens, all because of Mike. But what I was thinking is, you guys said that you guys are blues based, right? That's what I do. I've been in rock bands, but I tell everybody I'm a blues guitarist. I fake rock and roll, right? And you hear me play, you always hear the blues. I don't care if I'm covering, I don't care if I'm covering an Ozzy song. I play a solo. It's going to sound like you're going to hear the blues in it, right? Are you loud out of necessity? Meaning, since you're like a blues band, you're using a tube amp, you're looking for that right tone, and you got to have that right volume to get that tone out of that amp.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's situational, right? So if we're playing more of like a rock oriented set, like a usual repertoire, we're gonna go hard and we're gonna be loud. It's just part of the feel, the aura of it. But if we're playing a blues set, say like Uptown or some other venue like that, where it's more intimate, smaller crowd, you don't want to blow their ears off. Yeah, now since we're older, more mature musicians, we have the ability to be a chameleon and shape shift into something that's more dynamic, focused, and not so much hard hitting. But yes, going back to the guitar example, like you have a tube amp, you got to hear the power amps come through. Like you got to turn it up just the right amount to get that nice crunch. I don't want 50 pedals in front of me. Nope, I want to hear that natural amp sound, because that is the most pure and best sound you can get out of a tube amplifier.
Say that again.
That is the most pure and best sound you can get out of a tube amplifier.
What'd you say?
Huh?
I mean, it's true.
No, it is.
Yep.
Absolutely.
We all use tube amps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're all fire users.
Yeah.
Even the drummer.
Tube drums.
Yes.
Right. So
I use a tube mic. Sorry, no, I don't.
So when you guys
don't own a mic.
I don't.
wait, you're
on a mic.
You're the singer and you don't own a mic?
I do own a mic,
And
but
we
I don't
put him
use it at
on the
shows.
spot.
So what do you do?
What?
What do you do? If you're a singer and you don't own a mic, then
Mostly use mics that we have
Okay.
with the band, which is
Right.
mine. They're Tony's.
so it's like what? You bring the PA and you bring his mic for him? Is that how it goes?
Yeah, he just helps me carry my stuff,
He's a very good roadie, I can say that.
Oh yeah, I do help. I do the helps. But yeah, I've been looking at a wireless mic that I'm
Right.
actually getting ready to buy, because I tend to run around quite a bit. What?
You tend to?
Tend to is
You
that's
just
very
run around.
light. Yeah, you just
You don't tend to anything.
I have severe ADHD.
And it's killing me.
You're listening to the Rock and Roll Chicago Podcast.
So I want to go back to this because this is kind of like hot on the plate right now. This is we have a lot of young people that show up to a lot of the jams in the area, which is really cool, right? And they ask a lot about gear, and I've always said that I would love to do just like a gear session, and have everybody just sit and talk about it, right? So as a blues-based band, I'm curious as to back up your statement. Okay, so what's your amp? What's your guitar? What's your pedal board, if anything? What do you have?
Yeah, so I have a lot of amps. I kind of have a problem, but
We all do.
admitting it on the air. But primary amp right now that I use live is a 1977 Music Man 210 RD. It's 100 watts hybrid amp, tube in the power section. When I play through that thing, I do have a pedal board, maybe about like 7 pedals. The only one that I keep on the entire time is it's like a clone replica of Wave Audio, just for an extra boost if I can't jack the volume in a smaller setting. Otherwise, I'll just turn on a wah here and there, some delay here and there for the song. That's all they really do. And then Les Pauls, Strats, Tellys. Been favoring an ES335 I just got recently, so it's kind of my rig.
Yeah. Well, a 100 watt tube amp though.
Yeah.
I could see where that might contribute to the fact that you're
a little
really
loud.
It is a half power option.
Okay, so it's only 50 watts then.
Yeah, I put on the half power option.
Yeah, well, no, I can totally see how that contributes.
But yeah,
The coolest one for recording though
is a Champ.
Of course it is.
Yeah, I've recently just discovered
none.
the magic of it. Like,
Bar
that was
none.
beautiful.
man,
No, absolute bar none. I actually played in a metal band about 20 years ago,
Yeah.
and the guy had a Mesa 412 cabinet, and he drove that cabinet with a Champ.
That's
And
amazing.
it sounded
I love that.
amazing. I swear that Champ driving that 410 cabinet sounded like he was plugged into a Plexi.
That's
it
awesome.
sounded fantastic. It really did.
man, that's awesome.
It really. Who are the other guitar players? Who else?
Justin.
What do you have? What are you doing?
So my setup's very similar to Brian's. A little bit more, I guess would you say focused. I don't buy nearly as much as him, but he's gotten me on a bit of a roll. My two main amps.
Hurting his bank account.
He buys his stuff.
It's sometimes, yeah. Amplifier wise, I use a Mesa Express 50. It's a 50 watt. I also have a Mesa F50, which is essentially the Express, but in a stack form with a 4x12 cab. Guitar wise, and I also use Fender Blues Junior. I usually use that in smaller places, but it's a great. I'm telling you, that amp is like.
I've got that amp.
That's the Grubens.
It's literally like the secret, like a secret weapon.
It's crazy.
You can get
for
so
a
many
little
different
amp like that.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
I'll tell you, I got very lucky with the Blues Junior. I found one for like $300 used secondhand, and I happen to know one of the best amp guys in the state of Illinois, and I brought it to him, and he opens up the amp, takes the chassis out and the whole bit, and he goes, "Now don't touch anything inside of there." He goes, "In fact, sit on your hands. I got to go to the bathroom." So I was sitting on my hands. He didn't want me to touch anything in it. And when he comes back, the thing is turned on, it's plugged in and everything, and I'm just playing through this thing, and he's adjusting all the little pots and everything while I'm playing and boosting everything internally, because they won't do that for you from the factory. It's it's set the way Fenders are going to set it. And then he put then the speaker that's in it. I think it's a Red Eminence or something like that. It's a red aluminum framed speaker, which is not anything else.
Yeah.
All you have to do is plug a guitar into this amp. It sounds so unbelievable. And the other thing that he did is he put the mid-range EQ before the overdrive of the amp, which is a feature that you find on Dumble amps.
Yeah.
So now when you plug this thing in and just use the volume knob on your guitar, I swear to God, the thing sounds like a lightly driven overdrive special.
You got to send me this guy's information now.
I won't mention it live on the podcast. He's actually been on the podcast, but I'll guarantee you've met him and you've played with him, especially if you've gone to the Uptown.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. I'll let you know. Yeah.
And then in terms of guitars, I play a black Gibson SG.
Yep.
Then I have a Gibson Les Paul Classic. That one has P90s in it. It's more of a studio guitar, but I'll break it out live once in a while. 2021 Telecaster. It's an Open G, a la Keith Richards. We do a lot of stuff in the Open G tuning. So, and then I just bought a 70s. It's a 20-year-old 70s reissue BC Rich. I don't want to say the name of it on air because I don't know how you guys feel about swearing. But it's
okay.
I'll just say it's a BC Rich bitch. A natural colored, very like Joe Perry-ish. So I was like, I have to have that. So that's I plan on debuting that one live very soon. But I guess I'm a little more punky than Brian is, so I like my distortion pedals, but I don't like to push it too much to where it sounds super compressed.
I am so disappointed you guys didn't bring instruments.
I knew as soon as we told him like everything we
You got
have.
what?
My bass is in my car.
Oh, okay.
Well, I kind of ran in here, but my
wants to-
acoustic's in the car.
Oh, jeez. Well, go get it.
Yeah, we got.
Did we go get it?
to this.
Go get it. Did anybody else bring something?
No.
No. Go get a bass.
All right, BRB.
Hold on. Let's pause.
We'll talk to. Yeah, we can
pause
we can
this right
pause
there.
it.
Sounds
Yeah.
good.
Hi, I'm Rick Anthony. I'd like to thank my radio brothers, Ray the Roadie and Hollywood Mike, for allowing me to tell you about my podcast, the Someone You Should Know podcast. We spotlight musicians, authors, and interesting people, and we like to say we're making a difference one artist at a time. The podcast is heard twice a week on Mondays and Thursdays, and you can check it out on your favorite streaming platforms and on the web at someoneyoushouldknowpodcast.com. That's the Someone You Should Know podcast with me, Rick Anthony, making a difference one artist at a time.
I'm Christy from Crime Cave Podcast. I've had a huge interest in true crime since my days of watching marathons of Snapped back in the mid-90s. I needed an outlet to talk about the cases that have haunted me for a very long time. With each episode under 20 minutes, I shine a light on some of the most bizarre cases in the last 50 years. Join me in the Crime Cave.
Alrighty. What you guys going to play for us?
Which one do you want to do? I would either say Lazy Sunday, Prone to Wander, or Crumbling.
That is up to you. If you want to do Lazy Sunday,
What do you guys think? Lazy Sunday?
Yeah, do
Oh,
Lazy
no, we'll do. You need the capo?
Yeah, for that.
Okay, so we'll do Crumbling.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, we'll try it that way. Didn't we? Yeah.
I think we did the acoustic EP was in standard, no?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was in standard. Yep.
Our Father, forgive us, for we have sinned. The world is breaking and crumbling down. Nobody's knowing who they can trust now. Society's lost it, it'll never be found. Hatred flowing and growing so loud. It's crumbling, it's crumbling. It's crumbling, it's crumbling. It's crumbling. Every leader is all out for themselves. Everyone taking and giving no help. Our hearts are all locked in a cage. We are filled with unholy rage. It's crumbling, it's crumbling. It's crumbling, it's crumbling. It's crumbling.
I got this biggest crowd we've ever heard.
That was really good. Yeah. You too loud. No.
I told you.
No, that was awesome. That was fantastic. That was almost Ronnie James Dio vibrato in there.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah.
What was that called again?
Crumbling.
Crumbling.
You find the acoustic and the electric.
Why is he all of a sudden talking so loud? Crumbling.
Yeah.
So we can't find that online somewhere. Then it's not one that's in the making.
It's on Spotify.
It's on Spotify.
There's an acoustic version and there's a regular version.
Nice.
We got both versions up there on Spotify. There's an acoustic EP we did. We just wanted to see what we could do in 4 hours, so we just threw those songs together.
Right.
You could definitely tell, like we just kind of whipped it together. But I mean, that was the best acoustic song on there, I would say.
Okay. Hey, there's nothing wrong with doing that. There's kind of a trend that's coming back around again, where people want to hear the mistakes in recordings.
Yeah.
You know, people are pushing away from the auto tune and the whole
Record analog.
Yeah. Right.
Word.
Right. And it's expensive though. Holy crap!
We haven't even done it yet because it's so expensive.
Oh, geez,
Our old band.
Me and Joe have only done it once.
The last time I recorded, I'm not going to remember how much it was, but we said, we're going to do it completely analog, and we did the whole thing on a Atari reel-to-reel tape machine.
Wow.
And we paid something like $450 a reel. It was, a reel. Wow. Yeah, it wasn't cheap.
How many reels did you go through?
I can't even remember.
It's like 450.
Yeah. And, I mean, we didn't even record an entire album. I mean, I think we did like a half dozen songs, maybe at the most. And we had an older guy in the band. It's like, oh, we have to do an analog. We got to do a tape. Yeah, we got to do tape. And I was like, wow, okay, whatever.
Let me get the credit card out. All right.
Yeah.
So when you guys are out gigging, you got enough material for a whole show?
Yeah.
You don't do any covers or nothing?
We can, but we don't really.
We tend to only do a few.
Okay.
The two that we lean towards most, one we play at every show. It's Johnny Be Good. They played it at every show since their first show.
Okay.
So
it's like we're going to play it even though people are sick of it.
The fun part is it tends to close on a high note every time.
We ended with it.
That is the one song where if you play it, nobody cares.
Yeah.
It's,
You know what? But if you play something like Freebird or Mustang Sally or Tennessee Whiskey, for crying out loud.
oh God, I've heard it so much.
There's always somebody in the crowd that's like, oh my God, they're playing Freebird, or oh my God, they're playing Sweet Home Alabama, and some people are going to give you shit for it. But Johnny Be Good is the one song where you play it, everybody's like, okay, yeah, go ahead.
It's essentially the template.
Buy a song.
It's the template for from when that song came out. It's the template for all popular contemporary music up till now, pretty much. It pretty much is. And also because we're still kind of on that teetering where we're still mainly a local band, you're always playing to new people. Right. So some people, they have no idea what any of your songs are. And while they may make an impression on them, they'll always remember, oh, that's the band that played Johnny Be Good at the end of the set. So they'll remember us some way.
I just played it 3 times in one weekend. So yeah.
We also do another one that's played a lot in the blues scene, Going Down.
Oh yeah, of course. So when you guys do play, when we talk about a full night, I mean, you guys have enough original music for like 3 1-hour sets, or what kind of a night are we talking about? Or are you splitting the night?
I'd say we have 2 hours.
About 2 hours.
Okay.
We have 2 hours of originals that are fully done that we like to perform.
Sure.
And then we could go a long enough time with covers if we added to.
Right, if you
Honestly,
had to,
we'd probably just freestyle one in there, and whatever comes up with it, that's probably going to be a song.
We do like to freestyle at shows because it just, I don't know, that's how we get our creative juices flowing.
Yeah, why not? Why not? And so I like the format that you guys have. You actually have 4 instrumentalists, and you actually have a singer as a frontman, which is something that people are actually getting away from. You're seeing the 5-person band is kind of going away, and it's becoming 4-people bands or 3 people or whatever it is. But I kind of like the format for sure. Is that the way it's always been with you guys, or was there ever another time?
I mean,
it originally started with me, Tony, and Brian, and then when Joe came.
Yeah, so then we were around for a bit, and then we were always looking for. We had one or two guitarists. We had a couple auditions beforehand.
We had a keyboardist at one point.
Yeah, he played a show with us, but none of them just stuck.
Okay.
But Justin, he came to the first practice, his audition, just fully ready. He had been practicing all of our songs, been looking at our discography intensely. Right. So we were like, oh, hell yeah.
Okay. Excellent. Yeah. Excellent. So what kind of places you guys play?
I mean, we play like wherever people will let us play, pretty much. I mean, we just played Cubby Bear.
All right.
Nice. We were talking about upcoming shows. We're playing at the Roxy in Lockport, right across the street from the studio.
Yeah, I just played there on Saturday night. Have you ever played there before?
Never.
No.
I played there. No.
So Jessica Endress, who's the manager of the place, so we actually interviewed her on the podcast a few weeks ago. Great girl. She's so fun. Yeah. And we just played there on Saturday. If you've never played there before, you're gonna have a blast.
This sounds good.
It's really cool.
I'm excited.
What I like about it is, I mean, if you've never been there, when you walk in, you feel like you've been transported back to the 1920s.
It's very old.
It's an old movie theater, and the original projector is right there when you walk through the front door, through the vestibule. It's got the marble floors and
awesome.
Incandescent lighting and the whole bit. You feel like we're underdressed. You feel like you should be wearing a hat and a zoot suit. It's really a cool spot. So I hope you guys do well.
Thank you.
It sounds like it sounds like the music that you guys play is going to be a good fit for that place. Yeah. So what's coming up next?
So we've got that.
Lords of Loud, actually. There's a band that has kind of challenged us.
Okay.
They say they're louder than us. So we're taking them down. They are going to hear it, literally.
We played a show
Their name is
with
Goat
Nick
Belly.
and Joe.
Wait, so the band is called. Wait, what's this band called?
Goat Belly.
Goat Belly. Oh, okay. So you guys are performing a show that you're entitling Lords of Loud. Showdown. Wow.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be, and it's at Black Dog
I think
Vinyl.
I'm scared. It's at Black Dog Vinyl Cap. Oh my God.
Oh, yeah,
Yep.
That's what I said.
we're going to blow the windows up.
We sell earplugs for $1 in little moon bags.
Holy crap.
Thank you, ladies.
Yeah. Wow, that place is just wow. I'll tell you what. I think the folks next door at Dolce Vita are going to have something to say about that. Wow. When's the date of that?
September 8th.
All right, what the hell do I have going on in September? I'm going to be at a family wedding in Rhode Island. I can't be here for that.
Hey, you know what?
I might be able to hear them.
Yeah, you might be able to hear us.
You will.
We're gonna have to pay for Mike to get a new window, probably that show.
Yeah. Wow, amazing. Okay, so that's on September 8th. What do you have coming up after that?
September 22nd at the Roxy, which is the one we were
that's the
talking
22nd.
about.
At
Yep,
the Roxy.
and then we've also got an acoustic show up in Wonder Lake. I believe it's the 16th of September as well. An acoustic set.
Okay, that's cool. That'd probably be more my speed. I'm getting old. I don't know if I want to hear all the loudness. Even their acoustic show is really loud.
It is.
Ear shattering. Everybody's bleeding.
The window was rattling behind me. Thought I was going to come in.
So, how about you guys bring us home with another song?
Yeah, do you want to just do
Let me get my earplugs
right on the spot?
Improv? Yeah, I guess let's try it.
The funny thing is, I thought I was just going to blame the guitar players for why their band is too loud. No, that's not the reason why whatsoever.
Not always.
They've got a very powerful singer.
They do.
Yep.
You allow amps to keep up with them.
Yeah, they need that.
Brian's always been that loud, so it was way before Joe.
It was a match. It was a match.
Then it just got louder.
We can probably back this up a little bit.
Yeah, possibly.
Put it outside.
Joe, go on the other side of the room.
Yeah, I
Go in the other room. Go in the other room.
I'll back this more, actually.
Alright, ready?
Blues?
Sure, why not?
Alright.
Bear and Juliet.
Somewhere out there in space and time, I'm never coming back again. No, I'm not. Gonna go out here telling you I'm out here dying. I can't come back, or else I'll get thrown off track, but I don't even know if I'm going the right way. I'm never coming back, and you have just heard me say, oh, I hurt my pride on other things, but I keep dying, but rise my care. I'm gone. No big old star in love. We're gonna play guitar, gonna blues. Once we pack up and choose, we'll never come back again. Oh. Listen now, you thought you had the right mind to somehow come out and talk like that to us. Oh, the right thing we take our stand on this love. Yes, we do now. Play it up. Now I tell you now, I'm gonna run away, and y'all ain't gonna see me on that day. Gonna escape somewhere you will never find. I'll sit with me drinking my tea in the light.
And here's your next song.
Excellent.
You know, I just got to tell the people out there in podcast land, he was 3 feet away from that microphone singing. He wasn't even in the mic.
But the soul came from his toes.
It did. It did.
It came up out of the rug like mushrooms.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
no, that was fantastic.
That was great, man.
The good cut?
Yeah, the good kind of mushrooms, yes.
So, you know, everybody that's listening to this is going to want to know where they can find you. Where can they find you guys? Social media-wise or whatever?
We got it all. Facebook, Instagram, not so much Twitter, but Twitter. Spotify, Apple Music, you know, wherever you listen to music, that's what we're on. YouTube.
Just look for Primal Moon.
Yep.
Primal Moon?
Primal Moon.
And you'll be out there.
Instagram at Primal Moon Band.
Yeah,
And
okay.
Twitter, but we don't really use Twitter.
Yeah.
You mean X?
Oh, yeah.
I
that's-
forgot.
now
I
it's
forgot.
X.
If that doesn't tell you anything, how much we don't use it.
All righty, guys. Well, thanks for coming out. You sound really good.
Thanks for having us.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Take care.
Catch you guys.
Appreciate it.
Well, there's Primal Moon. I just started doing this outro from 3 feet out, and you couldn't even hear me.
It was literally an outro.
Yeah, well, you couldn't hear nothing.
Are we doing it over again?
No. No, we're doing it right now.
Okay, and I'm going to, you know what? I'm going to start backing away like this as we start doing it. You know?
And see, now you're gone.
Now I'm gone.
Now you're gone.
All right, and I'm back in, so now it's an intro.
That's right. An innie or an outie.
I think that young man had a third lung.
I think so. Man, he could really belt it out.
Crap, was that a powerful voice.
Yeah.
And he literally, I mean, he turned away from the microphone.
He did. Yeah, he was. Like I said, he was 3 feet away, and you could still hear him.
Wow,
clear as day.
I wish they would have brought more instruments in. It was nice that the guy had a guitar in his trunk. But
glad they had it.
Yeah. And, I'd like to go and see these guys. They sound very interesting for sure.
Definitely. It was a lot of fun. So make sure you guys get out there and see Primal Moon. They're out and about all over there playing. And thanks for listening to the Rock and Roll Chicago podcast. And we'll see you next week with another exciting episode. Bye-bye.
Hey, everybody. Bob Rowdy's here from Brookwood Drive, along with Mark Miller, Carlos Gonzalez, and Glover Washington. Check us out next week on episode 154 on the Rock and Roll Chicago podcast.
Take a ride on the drive. The Rock and Roll Chicago podcast is edited by Paul Martin. Theme song courtesy of M&R Rush. The Rock and Roll Chicago podcast does not own the rights to any of the music heard on the show. The music is used to promote the guests that are featured.